Dear sisters, peace be with you. And as a religious, we have the vows, and I want to speak to you today a vow of freedom and love. We are called to love all. It is a vow for celibacy and for chastity, a chaste life and a celibate life. Vow of chastity. Chastity means giving oneself completely to Christ's body, mind, and soul. This actually allows one greater freedom to love and serve all God's people without the obligations of a family. In return, one discovers love through a deep relationship with Jesus, the love and support of others on a community, and the joy in experiencing and doing God's will. It is an evangelical virtue pertaining to the very image that we are made after the image of God. The image of God is solidarity, a basic drive to be in relationship. It cannot be avoided for a long time. It's a vow in solidarity in relationship. Warmth of body is a sign of life. It is the fire that burns in our body. Same fire manifests itself as devotion and human affection. We are warm with affection. Affection makes you warm in your body. Celibate chastity is meant for domesticating this fire into service, to serve us and lovingly, inclusively, and extensively. The need for affection and to relate is strong in every one of us precisely because we are created after the image of God, the God of solidarity. Therefore, a need to relate is strong, sometimes overwhelming. A true religious person is one who is filled with love, affection, sympathy, empathy all through her life. Jesus asks us to love God with all our hearts, mind, soul, and in the same breath, he says, love your neighbor, which is as important as the first. People who have loved deeply God have loved people warmly. People who loved people warmly have also loved God deeply. If you love people genuinely, surely you will end up with loving God. If you really love God genuinely, you will reach out to the people. Charity is always about how one loves. Marital chastity and consecrated celibate chastity. Marital chastity is lived in marital context exclusively and intensely, sparing no aspect of one's being. Love one's life partners. Consecrated celibate chaste persons are called to love in an inclusive and extensive way, avoiding expressions that will make the love exclusive and intensive. A genuine love of a religious person is always extensive. It doesn't have a clutches, not closedness, not close to few people, not one person. This is the difference. But at the same time, it's very intensive. Celibacy does not belong to the core of Jesus' teaching, but chastity is. The apostles or the other leaders of the early church did not insist on celibacy. In the West, celibacy came to be prescribed in the 4th century and did not come into practice, and some legislation came to be made during the Carolingian period, that's Charlemagne period, 5th and 6th centuries. It did not come into practice until 12th century. God's nature of solidarity is manifested in our longing for relationships. We always, by nature, we long for relationship. I love you, sister. I love you, brother. This is nature. This is energized by the fire called sexuality. It determines our gender, helps to relate and to procreate naturally. Procreation is one of the many aspects of sexuality. Apart from that, it affects every aspect of our human existence. Sexuality is one of the central pervasive and powerful dimensions of our human nature, and it affects in the way we are and in the way we think, feel, and relate, and make choices, and see our social roles and pray. At no time we can set aside our sexuality. There is neutral and asexual way of being human, a situation in which we pretend to be sexless. If we were to be relieved of our sexuality, we will be incapable of feeling for the other. No empathy or sympathy or compassion would be possible. In sexuality, it is connected to our love and affection. I would not advise celibacy to anyone but only for mystics. But we know we are mystics. That is, celibacy is not meant for anyone unwilling to grow in a deep prayer communion with the Lord. This is from Ignatius Lepp, the French priest psychologist. Sisters, if you don't have proper prayer communion with the Lord, your sexuality can be misled. A fulfilled celibate life will be possible only for those who really see celibacy as a gift from God, which they joyfully accept as a charism to be lived for the good of others. Without a faith-centered and happy choice, celibacy would be an unhappy burden and a block to one's development. This is from Joe Maneth. So, without faith-centered happy choice of celibacy, this celibacy would be an unhappy burden and a block to one's development. Very often we make vow for celibacy without any understanding, maybe out of force. Any person for his healthiness requires a moment to be oneself and gradation of friendship. Those who have entered deeply into their heart and found the intimate home where they encounter their Lord come to the mysterious discovery of solidarity in the other side of intimacy. They come to the awareness that intimacy of God excludes no one and includes everyone. A vowed person without a spiritual life and a good friendship is like a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. A person has made a vow of celibacy, but there is no spiritual life. It's only just a friend, their friendship. It is like sounding brass, just to make blah 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 sound. There's no genuineness inside. Eating and drinking don't make friendships, such as friendship. Even robbers and murderers have this friendship. Eating and drinking is not what makes a celibate, what makes friendship truly, because even the thieves have got. But if we are friends, if we truly come for one another, care for one another, let's help one another spiritually. Let's hinder those things that lead our friends away to hell. There are two ways of going out of yourselves. One, towards an encounter with Jesus, towards transcendence, and the other towards the others to proclaim Jesus. These two go together. If you do only one, it does not go at all. I think Mother Teresa of Calcutta, she was a good sister. She was not afraid of anything. She was on the street, but the same sister was not afraid even to kneel 2 hours before the Lord every day to be strengthened in order to reach out to the other. I am marked by a loneliness that cannot be removed by any other sinful human being. One human loneliness cannot heal the other, says Father Henry Nouwen. When I expect from the second love what only the first love can give, then I crash. If celibacy is put up with rather than freely chosen, it will degenerate into unhealthy compensation. Search for the comfort or power or addiction or unloving, even cruel treatment for people, as well as sexually acting out. The vow of chastity, the vow of celibacy, does not end at the time of vows. It goes on. It's a search, a path that is mature. mature continuously in maturity, towards pastoral fatherhood, towards pastoral motherhood. If you are not developed into a motherhood, then your sexuality is not grown. Your vow of chastity is not full. So when a priest is not a father for his community, or when a nun is not a mother of all those people with whom she works, then he or she becomes sad. This is what Pope Francis says. We cannot think of a priest or a nun as not fertile or fruitful. This is not Catholic. This is not Catholic. This is the beauty of consecration. It is joy. It is fructified in Jesus. When you have loved him, you shall be chaste. When you have touched him, you shall become pure. When you have accepted him, you shall be a virgin. This is what St. Clare tells her sisters. There are 5 things we have to keep in mind when we reflect on celibacy. Dear sister, remember this. Lovelessness is not a virtue. Don't think a celibate person should be an angry person. No, it is just a contrary. Loveless is not a virtue. It is love that is virtue. Exploitation is not love. Sometimes in the name of love and chastity, lot of exploitation is taking place. Lot of exploitation. Third one, the function of religious vows lies in more than negation of human condition and discipline of self. So the function of religious vows lies in more than negation of human condition. And it is not just negation of human condition, it's not just a discipline of oneself, but rather outgrowing, extending oneself to go reach out to the other person. Fourth one, celibacy is not developmentally destructive. It's never destructive, it's always constructive. The fifth point is sexuality gives positive energy and it is beautiful. Everyone's sexuality, when it's fully lived, it gives lot of positive energy and it is really beautiful. There are different types of sexuality. Sexuality of senses, sexuality of physical nature, sexuality of emotional nature, sexuality of spirituality, sublimation. How to deal with any trouble connected to celibacy? First, be aware what is really happening in your mind, in your emotions, in your feelings. Second, accept the difficulties, the challenges that you face physically, emotionally. Third one, face it. This is reality. I have made a vow in order to be free for the rest of the world. Therefore, I have to face this challenge. How to deal with any trouble connected to celibacy? As we said, first be aware, second accept it, then face it. They are physical and emotional and sexual as a man or a woman. But you know that there are 3 glands are connected to our sex: pituitary, adrenal, and gonad or ovary. A growth of a person or longevity is connected to testosterone, or for women is estrogens. Only normal persons with all these enters religious life for voluntary celibacy. Not having any temptation at all in religious life is abnormal. If anybody says, I don't have any temptation, either it should be an elderly person or an abnormal person. Denying that I do not have temptation only makes you more vulnerable. Accept it. It's natural. We all have temptation. Sometimes we fall it, but we also know where to strike a balance and come back to God. Religious life makes us incapable of marriage or marital status, physically, emotionally, sexually. We voluntarily sacrifice it for greater good, which is very important. If there is no greater good, then our voluntary sacrifice celibacy is totally useless. My choice is for better focus, undivided attention, undistracted by other persons, events, things, and situations. These are very important for celibacy and chastity. Sisters, here I want to bring 10 symptoms of a chaste person who wants to witness through the life of celibacy. First thing is for a celibate is optimism. Celibacy does not have a negative approach, but rather a determined optimism to face challenges single-handedly. This particular person has made a decision. This sister has made a decision to be alone, to face life alone. There's optimism. I can face life. I am able. I am not alone in this process. I am always the power of the divine. Second, no hatred. Sometimes we feel that this celibate people are hating the sisters. We become nuns, the sisters, not because we hate men. Or men don't become sisters because they hate, they become priests because they hate women. No, no, no. A woman hater cannot be a priest. He's a cheat. A man hater cannot be a nun. She is a cheat. So hating the other gender is not normal. Celibacy leads one to go beyond the likes and dislikes. You know, the sumo wrestlers, sumo people, the big belly people in Japan, they are like gods. Their mindset is they are not overwhelmed by the success. They will never be upset by the failure. They just live beyond likes and dislikes. So therefore, this is very important to understand. There's no hatred. Hatred is not to be found in a religious life. Is able to go beyond, she is able to go beyond this with her sacrifice. Our own freedom. The symptom of a good celibate life is it gives one the freedom from commitment towards one person, one family to everyone else. It is an extraordinary affection and empathy towards human beings, animals, whole cosmos. This is what we find in St. Francis. This is the true sign of liberation from the clutches of exclusive possession of one person or one family with small circle. So this exclusive possession, exclusive friendship, one-to-one, chatting with the same person again and again, giving messages, receiving messages. These are all dangerous symptoms. It's not really sincere people. Then fourth important symptom is the last first. The concern of a celibate and celibate sister is the attention goes not those well off in economy, economic life, social life, cultural life, spiritual life, physical life, emotional life, but they go to the most unwanted, the vulnerable ones, the voiceless people, the powerless ones, those at the fringes of a society. This is the very clear symptom of the true religious who is living a celibate life. A celibate is the one who cares for the poor and the downhearted. Downtrodden. If you are really a celibate sister, you will find the way you deal with a patient, a poor patient and a rich patient. If you are really genuinely a sister teaching, if you are really a celibate person, you'll be compassionate toward the poor people than the rich people. The first priority is for the poor girls, uneducated girls, rural girls, Dalit and tribal girls, vulnerable people. Those are slow learners that will go naturally. This is the clear symptom of celibate persons. They go beyond to the fringes of the society. Their apostolate are all connected to those downtrodden and the top priority, just as Jesus had towards the sinners and poor people, the tax collectors, prostitutes. All these people had easy access to them. This is a clear sign of a true celibate and chaste person. He is always attracted and connected to the most disadvantaged people. But the pity is today most of our people are wanting to go to the institutions, city life, comfort life, matriculation schools, hi-fi society. All these are also symptoms that they are not sincere in their celibate life. I'm sorry about that. And fifth symptom is extraordinary compassion. They have extraordinary compassion that extends every moment, never tired of being good and doing good towards the evil people, those people who are unwanted people. This is an outcome of the personal, emotional challenges the celibate person undergoes within due to his or her body, her emotions, sociability, etc., which leads to get genuinely committed to persons and society. They undergo a lot of troubles, lot of sufferings, lot of painful process. The body passes through a lot of process. Easily people fall in love with this particular genuine character. Therefore, it's very easy to become a friendly person, but this person has to go with extraordinary compassion. This is also a challenge. There's a thin layer between attachment and commitment. Very often we are not attached, but we are committed. We have to make a distinction and clearly. He or she undergoes this great risk easily. Mercy, forgiveness, sacrifice, compassion, etc. are all signs of celibate life. On the contrary, and the contrary ones depict their doubtful status. We come across rude characters of a priest or a nun and people, and when they come across from the sisters and priests, rude characters, angry people, they are very much shocked because their humaneness is lost. This also may be a sign that their chastity also is lost. But again, I cannot say because they are not sincere with their chaste search. In their chastity, they don't search for God. The pain, the sacrifice, if they make, they won't be angry like that. Transparency is another important factor of a chaste person. There is no exclusive relationship, no secrecy in that particular system. A celibate person is open to share anything and everything and is open to further growth in times of failures. You'll find some sisters very, very secret, top secret. You cannot take, you take everything is password, everything is closed up, everything closed up. Lot of things are going on. This cannot be with the priests and nuns because you don't have anything to hide. There's nothing to hide. We are transparent, open, accountable. So therefore, this celibate person, the celibate person should come away from one to one and one to all. So the celibate person is going away from one to one relationship to one to all relationship. Without exception, this relationship is in growing. Then media, use of media. One symptom is very important, the way they use media. Excessive use of social media to communicate with one person, few persons, repeatedly through chatting is a clear symptom of lack of focus at the risk of one's religious purpose in life. Too much of chatting, too much mobile misuse, abuse of mobile, abuse of WhatsApp, and all those things. Then use of pornographic thing, very important thing. Today we have to check how far we are sincere, Once I had to go for an AFI meeting. Then there was a meeting, some discussion was there. Then I wanted to bring that app to assist. I said, please use this particular thing. Then you can use for the train time and other things. And I wanted to download the thing. Then she didn't know about that. Then she gave me, sister, father, you put that. Then I was about to take and put the number. So all pornographic things were there. I was really shocked. It's very painful. It's very easily we can be misled. We can be taken away by this kind of things. So this some people who have lost themselves in the media, they live a mechanical life, a business model in apostolate. Whether they are in education or medical line or social line or administrative line, they've got their own hidden agenda. They may do their job wonderfully. They may just like machines, but their heart is not fully involved or genuinely committed. Externally, they may look good and ideal person, but inside they may be cheating themselves. They are running a life of vacuum. Nothing is there inside. The same way, a media addiction, curiosity, addiction to serials, movies, porno are all symptoms that this voluntary determination to transformation is missing in this religious life. This is another big issue of masturbation. This is also one thing is a temptation, another one is a symptom. It's a symptom of laziness, lack of focus, and wasting of time, lack of time management. This is a very big issue among the religious now. They fall prey to it by entertaining themselves. They are loners. They become introverts. They easily become victims. There's no hobby in life. There's no talents growth. There's no extra outgoing contributing something in the society. They seek what they have to seek what are the talents can work for them. They can utilize it. They may be very good artists, They may, in the religious life, there's no occasion. Oh, okay, go and help somebody who is a decoration, painting, art, dancing, singing, so many things. You may be a principal of a college, but if you love cooking, then start cooking. Everybody spend some time. A musical, if you are a musician, do it. If you are a dancer, do it. Who says not to dance? Dance it. Today that hip hop dance is very good, very good, very good exercise. I usually go for this whenever I give the training. I give them this lovely exercise, brain gym. But unfortunately, in this online, I'm not able to give it for you. But I can send it. You can do that. You have to spend time every day, just 5 minutes enough. It will be very good for your this one. Enhance it for the joys of others. I know one Father John Quigley. He was working and I was in Rome. I used to go for the UN meetings, United Nations in Geneva, and I used to stay with this YFM house. And this particular, he was the director of the United Nations Friends International. He was the director's chief, both for Switzerland in Geneva office and New York office. And I've been for different meetings connected to UN. And at that time, once I was dealing with him, he was highly professional, very professional. The way he impresses people, extraordinarily good. And he is the one who took up the issue of the blasphemy case in Pakistan. He was taking this particular case. You know how he involved? He will go to the UN thing. He used to go and bring out the issue. And then he used to meet the ambassadors, invite all of them to the away from the place where their community was there. So we used to go there, and he loved cooking. He's an excellent cook, was known for that. He'll invite at least some 10 ambassadors. Once I was there with him. So all the 10 ambassadors will be coming at the appointed time. So they'll come at 6:30. So we go at 4 o'clock. We go and start kitchen, chicken, cutting vegetable, frying, all those things. We'll get ready, and he is the one who makes everything. At the end, when the people come 7 o'clock, everything's at light, music is there. He gives a nice dinner. At the end, he comes with the agenda. Please raise this issue of blasphemy. So many Christians and Hindus are killed there in Pakistan. Please take up. These are the data. These are the statistics. So those things are given to the ambassadors. Next day morning, when it comes, they bring and bombard at the UN, and it stopped. Sisters, this is what is important. Use your talents somewhere effectively so that you'll be contributing something to the society. Those who do not reach out to others end up in self-destructive behaviors. This is what's happening. Those who show excess anger towards the others and dominate others or discriminate others, they all can be signs of sexual perversion or oppression, maybe some problems. So that's very important. And ninth point of symptom is becoming motherly and fatherly. Sisters, you have the motherliness in you. There's a compassion in you. There's empathy in you. There's such a love and affection in you. Live it. Live it every day with your community. Live it every day with the poor people. Live it every day wherever you go for a first aid. One sex leads one to become mother and father. Sex makes a person a motherly person or a fatherly person according to you. So therefore, you also should write what are the topmost 3 characters you have as a mother. It's already in you, growing in you, moment by moment. Therefore, make this sense, a sex, a positive grace to live with. It has to be sublimated. The 10th one is very important. Symptom is dignified conversation. It's very, very painful. I have seen several religious congregations, communities, priests and nuns. The way they crack jokes, the people will be astonished, upset and ashamed whether these religious people at all. They're so mean character, so low character. The way they crack jokes, sex jokes, it is not unbecoming of a priest and nun. You cannot justify. Family people don't do that. I lived at the university. I was a research scholar several years, different communities. I always see a difference between the way people behave, the way religious behave. Excess reference to sex jokes, or etc. are signs of a sick religious. Their instant and cheap popularity in their jokes brings down their public face. Lay people or religious people do not value, some religious do not value such persons with dignity. Sometimes they also show off their low character anywhere, with this focusing on living without any vision in life, living without any mission in life. Therefore, these 10 symptoms are very important to check whether you are in any way in this kind of symptoms. Guidance in celibacy. Dear sisters, please be faithful to the prayer life. Intimately get connected to Mother Mary. Intimately get connected to Jesus. Both of them underwent lot of problems. Mother Mary giving birth without marriage. What a shame, what a calamity it created in her. 9 months carrying a baby in front of everybody. They always made shouting. They must have spoiled her name. They were about to throw stone. Nobody will say anything wrong because that was the Jewish custom. If any woman is found with a child without marriage, before marriage, she can be killed with stones. Mother Mary lived 9 months to give birth to Jesus. And Jesus lived as a young man with all the young boys, 12 apostles, full of youthful vigor. They lived through their youth and they struggled a lot. Please be connected to Mother Mary and Jesus intimately in times of your sexual difficulties or in keeping up your celibacy and chastity. Talents. Please utilize your talents. Sublimate your energy positively on certain talents of your own liking for the society. Don't wait for some people. Don't wait for some recognition. No, you have to do it. You have to do it. If you are a singer, join with the people sing, decoration, putting rangoli, whatever be the thing, start doing. The other person need not be, you need not expect some. And third one is spiritual guide. Spiritual guide. Have a mentor in your life. Many of the religious people don't have anybody to whom they can get guidance, not open to anybody. Please open up yourself. It may be your companion, it may be your senior, it may be elderly person. Always keep somebody. Speak to them. In the beginning, also make a confidential agreement that whatever I speak with you, whatever you speak will be confidential, it will die with me. Create. Then you start speaking about your personal life. It's very important, very, very important. I have been sharing all my life to my community members in Chennai when I came from CBCA, every written document. And my student was my superior. He said, Father, what is that, Father? Everything you are writing. I said, don't worry, man. This is what I am. I am transparent. If you tell me anything is wrong, you guide me. So this is very important. Wherever I go, whatever I do, make it transparent. People, at least one person in your life should be there. And don't hide from the superior. Don't hide from your provincial. Say things. You are a weak person. Everybody knows it. That weakness, how to get guidance, ask them in secrecy. You must first build up a strong relationship, solidarity with the people. So, but the other person need not be very saint for this, not to become a mentor, maybe a co-traveler. Preferably one who respects your dignity and confidentiality. Select someone with whom you share your growth, your difficulty, everything. Build up energetic relationship. Extend it day by day with special focus on the needy.